Have you ever wondered what makes women tick and how they're unique? Traits can shape relationships, decisions, and even the balance of power. Stoicism teaches us to observe and understand human nature deeply, and in this video, we delve into an often misunderstood subject: the subtle vulnerabilities of the female psyche that every man should grasp, not to exploit, but to grow in wisdom and harmony. By uncovering these truths rooted in ancient Greek philosophy, you'll not only gain an edge in understanding interpersonal dynamics, but also strengthen your own emotional resilience. This isn't about manipulation, it's about enlightenment. Whether you seek stronger relationships, better communication, or deeper self-awareness, this journey into timeless Stoic insights will reshape how you approach connections with the women in your life. Watch till the end and unlock the secrets that philosophers have pondered for centuries. 1. Emotional sensitivity and its impact on decision-making. Have you ever wondered why emotional sensitivity plays such a pivotal role in shaping decisions? Let me tell you a truth that Stoics like Marcus Aurelius understood deeply. Emotions are powerful, but unchecked, they can cloud judgment. When we talk about women, emotional sensitivity is often seen as a weakness. But is it really? Or is it a double-edged sword? You see, emotional sensitivity isn't inherently bad, it's a tool, a radar for understanding the nuances of human interactions. However, when this sensitivity becomes overwhelming, it can lead to decisions driven more by feeling than by reason. And that's where the Stoic principle of emotional control comes in. For example, think about a high-stakes argument. Instead of weighing the facts, heightened emotions might lead to impulsive decisions, ones that feel right in the moment but lead to regret later. Men, understanding this, you can become an anchor of stability. Here's a question for you. Have you ever been in a situation where staying calm changed the entire dynamic of a heated conversation? Drop your experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. Now, Stoicism teaches us to observe without judgment. When you see emotional sensitivity at play, don't criticize. Instead, guide. Help bring clarity to the moment. This isn't about control, it's about partnership and mutual growth. So, the next time you notice emotions running high, think, how can I apply Stoic wisdom here? Be the calm in the storm. And remember, true strength lies in understanding, not overpowering. Stick around, we're just getting started. Up next, we'll uncover another intriguing aspect of human nature that will blow your mind. Don't miss it. 2. The desire for validation and social approval. The need for validation and social approval is one of the most profound aspects of human nature. And for women, it often plays a uniquely significant role. This isn't a flaw, it's a reflection of the deeply interconnected world we all live in. Think about it, social harmony has always been crucial for survival. Women, often being the emotional core of communities, have historically relied on relationships and social bonds. This innate drive for connection has evolved into a strong desire for validation and approval from others. It's not about weakness, it's about maintaining balance and harmony within the group. But here's where things can get complicated. When this desire becomes overwhelming, it can lead to decisions shaped by external opinions rather than inner values. A woman might compromise her dreams or beliefs just to fit in or avoid rejection. This is where Stoic wisdom becomes invaluable. To truly grow, we must understand that external approval is fleeting. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Helping someone recognize their intrinsic worth beyond the opinions of others can be transformative. As men, understanding this dynamic gives us a chance to provide a safe space, one where validation comes not from empty praise but from genuine respect and encouragement. You become a mirror that reflects their strengths, reminding them that their worth isn't tied to anyone else's opinion. True Stoic mastery is in recognizing this universal human trait and responding with empathy. It's not about pointing out the need for approval, but about nurturing the confidence that makes external validation unnecessary. With this understanding, relationships deepen, and both individuals grow stronger in the process. 3. Overthinking and its influence on emotional stability. Overthinking is a common trait that often stems from a deeply analytical mind. For women, this tendency can be amplified by an acute awareness of emotions and details, which, while a strength, can sometimes lead to emotional turbulence. Imagine a situation, a simple conversation or event unfolds, and afterward, countless possibilities and meanings are dissected. What did they mean by that? Did I say the wrong thing? This constant internal dialogue can lead to unnecessary stress, anxiety, and second-guessing. It's not because women are weaker. It's because their minds are naturally attuned to seeking clarity and connection in relationships. But here's the irony: overthinking rarely brings clarity. Instead, it clouds the mind and often creates problems that weren't even there to begin with. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This wisdom reminds us that while overthinking is natural, mastering the mind is essential for emotional balance. For men, recognizing this trait offers an opportunity to support rather than criticize. When you notice overthinking taking hold, gently encourage grounding in the present moment. Asking questions like, "What's the most important thing right now?" or "How does this actually affect us?" can help bring focus back to what truly matters. Understanding overthinking isn't about fixing or dismissing it. It's about providing steady reassurance and helping shift perspectives. This creates an environment where emotional stability can thrive, even in the face of life's uncertainties. In Stoicism, the ability to stay anchored while others struggle with internal storms is a mark of true strength. By embodying this principle, you not only strengthen your own mind, but also become a pillar of support for those around you. 4. The complex relationship between vulnerability and strength. Vulnerability is often misunderstood. Many see it as a weakness, a crack in the armor of one's character. But in truth, vulnerability is one of the most profound expressions of strength, especially when balanced with self-awareness and resilience. For women, vulnerability often plays a key role in forming deep emotional connections. It's the willingness to share fears, dreams, and insecurities. This openness fosters trust and intimacy, building bridges that many men may find challenging to create. However, the same vulnerability, when met with insensitivity or rejection, can lead to emotional wounds that are difficult to heal. Here's where the Stoic perspective shines. Seneca teaches us that strength isn't about being invulnerable, but about embracing life's challenges with courage. Recognizing vulnerability as a natural and valuable part of human interaction is crucial. It's a reminder that allowing oneself to be seen flaws and all is an act of bravery, not weakness. As men, it's vital to approach vulnerability with empathy and respect. When a woman shares her inner world, it's not an invitation for judgment or solutions. It's a moment to listen, validate, and simply be present. By doing so, you create a safe space where strength and vulnerability coexist in harmony. True connection comes from acknowledging that vulnerability isn't the absence of strength, it's its foundation. It's through the courage to be vulnerable that resilience is forged, both individually and in relationships. Embracing this duality, as the Stoics understood, allows us to navigate life with greater wisdom and compassion. In the end, recognizing and respecting vulnerability isn't just about understanding others, it's about understanding ourselves and finding strength in our shared humanity. 5. Dependency on emotional connections in relationships. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young philosopher named Lysander who prided himself on his Stoic discipline. He believed that emotions were distractions and that true strength came from independence. One day he met Helena, a woman whose warmth and empathy seemed to light up every room she entered. As they grew closer, Lysander noticed something fascinating. Helena's world revolved around the relationships she nurtured: her friends, her family, and eventually him. Her happiness, her energy, and even her decisions were deeply tied to the emotional connections she valued. At first, Lysander saw this as a weakness. How can someone depend so much on others for fulfillment? He wondered. But one evening, during a quiet conversation under the stars, Helena shared something that changed him forever. "Lysander," she said, "our connections are what make us human. They remind us that we're not alone, that we're stronger together than apart. Yes, I need those bonds, but isn't that what gives life its meaning?" That night, Lysander realized something profound. Dependency on emotional connections isn't a flaw. It's a reflection of our shared humanity. Women, with their natural inclination to value relationships deeply, often embody this truth more openly than men. However, when these connections falter through betrayal, neglect, or misunderstanding, the impact can be devastating. Emotional dependency becomes a double-edged sword, capable of both great joy and profound pain. As men, understanding this dynamic allows us to foster relationships rooted in trust, empathy, and mutual growth. It's not about being the sole source of someone's happiness, but about respecting the strength it takes to depend on others while maintaining your own emotional equilibrium. And so, Lysander learned that true Stoicism isn't about isolating oneself from emotion. It's about embracing it wisely, strengthening the bonds that enrich our lives. 6. The subtle power of insecurity and self-doubt. There was a talented artist named Callia, whose work was admired by many. Her paintings captured the beauty of the human spirit, and people would often tell her she had a gift unlike any other. But despite the praise, Callia struggled with an unseen battle, insecurity and self-doubt. Every time she stood before a blank canvas, a voice in her mind whispered, "What if this one isn't good enough? What if they realize I'm not as talented as they think?" She often hesitated, doubting her abilities and fearing judgment. The irony? Her art continued to inspire others even as she questioned herself. This story reflects a reality many women face. Despite their accomplishments, insecurity and self-doubt can linger, subtly influencing their decisions and actions. These feelings are often rooted in societal expectations or past experiences, and they can hold someone back from realizing their full potential. Here's where Stoic philosophy offers clarity. Epictetus taught, "Man is not worried by real problems, so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." Self-doubt is often a distortion of reality, a fear of what might be rather than what is. For men, understanding this subtle power of insecurity isn't about fixing it, but about offering steady support. Encouragement, acknowledgement of strengths, and patience can help create an environment where self-doubt loses its grip. It's important to remember that insecurity, when confronted with wisdom and understanding, can transform into growth. It becomes a force that drives introspection and self-improvement. Like Callia, who eventually learned to embrace her doubts as part of her creative process, anyone can turn insecurity into a stepping stone for greatness. True strength lies not in denying doubt, but in overcoming it, one step at a time, with the right mindset and support. 7. The pursuit of perfection and its emotional toll. There once was a woman named Elena, a high-achieving scholar who seemed to have it all: intelligence, grace, and a relentless drive to succeed. From the outside, she was the embodiment of perfection. But what people didn't see were the sleepless nights, the endless self-criticism, and the pressure she placed on herself to meet impossible standards. Elena's pursuit of perfection wasn't just about excelling. It was about proving her worth to herself, to her family, and to a world that constantly demanded more. Every mistake felt like a failure. Every flaw a crack in the image she worked so hard to maintain. Over time, this relentless chase began to take an emotional toll, leaving her exhausted and questioning her happiness. This story isn't unique. Many women are conditioned to believe that perfection is the key to acceptance and success. From appearance to career, relationships to motherhood, the bar is often set impossibly high. And yet, as the Stoics teach us, the pursuit of external ideals is a trap. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Perfection of character is this: to live each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, without apathy, without pretenses. The Stoic view reminds us that perfection isn't about flawlessness, it's about authenticity and growth. For men, understanding the emotional toll of this pursuit is vital. It's not about encouraging complacency, but about celebrating progress over perfection. When you recognize this struggle in the women around you, offer kindness and perspective. Remind them that imperfections are what make us human, and striving for progress is far more fulfilling than chasing an unattainable ideal. True perfection isn't in the outcome, but in the courage to keep moving forward, no matter the challenges. 8. The influence of external expectations on inner peace. Sophia had always been the one everyone turned to for advice. Her friends admired her, and her family depended on her wisdom and strength. But underneath it all, she carried a heavy burden, the constant pressure to meet the expectations of others. Society expected her to excel in her career, to maintain perfect relationships, to always be composed and poised. With each passing day, the weight of these external expectations became more suffocating. She felt as though her life wasn't her own anymore, and it was a reflection of what others wanted her to be. The more she tried to meet these demands, the more disconnected she felt from her true self. The stress and anxiety began to erode her inner peace. This story highlights a common struggle, especially for women. The external world often imposes expectations, whether it's from family, friends, or society, that pull us away from our own values and desires. The need to meet these expectations can create a constant sense of striving, leaving little room for the peace that comes from being true to oneself. In Stoicism, we are taught that true peace comes from within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When we allow ourselves to be swayed by the judgments and demands of others, we lose sight of our own inner compass. For men, recognizing the toll of external expectations allows us to support those around us in a more meaningful way. Instead of adding to the pressure, we can offer reassurance and remind them that their worth is not determined by others' opinions, but by their own principles and actions. By applying Stoic wisdom, we can break free from the cycle of external validation and find peace in living according to our own values. It's not about rejecting all external influence, but about learning to prioritize our inner voice over the noise of the world. True strength lies in understanding that inner peace is the foundation upon which all meaningful success is built. 9. The subtle power of insecurity and self-doubt. Maya had always been the life of the party, always laughing, always confident. But behind her infectious smile was a quiet storm of self-doubt. She would stand in front of the mirror, wondering if she was enough for her career, enough for her friends, enough for herself. Despite her outward confidence, there was an unspoken insecurity that she couldn't shake. This internal struggle isn't unique to Maya. Many women carry the weight of self-doubt, often in silence. It's a quiet force that questions their worth, their abilities, and even their decisions. But the irony lies in how this insecurity can coexist with incredible accomplishments. Maya, for example, had achieved more than many could dream of. Yet she still doubted her place in the world. Insecurity, while painful, is a deeply human experience. It stems from the desire to be seen, to belong, and to feel valued. For women, societal pressures can amplify these feelings, creating a constant cycle of self-questioning. The fear of not measuring up to external standards can cloud even the brightest moments. The Stoics had a profound understanding of this. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Most of the insecurities we harbor are products of our own mind's fears of judgment, fears of failure, fears that rarely come to pass. By recognizing this truth, we can begin to break the cycle of self-doubt. For men, understanding the subtle power of insecurity in women is key to offering support that truly matters. It's not about dismissing these feelings, but about providing reassurance and perspective. Encourage her to focus on her strengths, to recognize her achievements, and to remember that true worth isn't defined by the doubts that creep into the mind. Insecurity is a part of the human experience, but it doesn't define us. By embracing it and countering it with wisdom and self-compassion, we can transform it from a barrier into a source of growth. Just as Maya eventually learned, self-doubt can be the catalyst for discovering a deeper, more unshakable confidence. And there you have it, 9 powerful insights into the emotional complexities that shape our relationships, our decisions, and our growth. Remember, understanding these subtle dynamics isn't about labeling weaknesses, but about recognizing the deep strengths that come with vulnerability, sensitivity, and self-awareness. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how these Stoic principles have helped you navigate similar challenges. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into Stoicism and personal growth. Stay strong, stay wise, and see you in the next one.